512-255-8678. Online at avconsultations.com.
Get the Apple Leasing Advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
And the greatest swimming machine we've ever seen rolls on to another gold here in Paris.
Simone Biles, the Olympic all-around champ.
Hear all the exciting moments on the free iHeartRadio app, the exclusive audio home of NBC's coverage of the 2024 Paris Olympics.
From the Audio-Visual Consultation Studio, this is KBET-AM Austin, an iHeart radio station, the exclusive audio home of NBC's coverage of the 2024 Paris Olympics. It's the Craig Way Show.
If Jerry Jones does care as much about his fans as he says, try to make some moves that might at least appeal to them a little more than a lot of the moves you made. In other words, like a real personnel person, real general manager. Make Will McClay the real general manager.
Voice of the Texas Longhorns and Hall of Fame broadcaster. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. on AM 1300 The Zone.
Good morning, Austin, Pflugerville, H-Town, K-Town, and of course,
Bastrop
and Silsbee. Welcome to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone. I'm your host, Mike Harbaugh Hardge. We have the world's strongest man, Mr. Mark Henry, in with us, as he will be every single day. And let's get right into it. We're going to talk about the Olympics. The awards continue to be given out. There is a freaky dinky situation that is happening over there at the Olympics. We also going to hear from Coach Sark as he met with the media yesterday, as they are 5 practices in, and we'll continue those conversations. Joe Cook of Inside Texas joins us at 7:40 to talk all things Texas. The Rangers and the Astros started their series, and of course, you know, there is always some tension there. Jim Harbaugh speaks, and let me just tell you something. He gives no blanks about the thoughts of you or anybody else. And of course, we got the world's strongest man giving the world's strongest take at 8:40. We're just getting started right here. My man Khalil is behind the boards. And of course, if you want to be a part of the show, all you got to do is text the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. That's the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. And here's the cool thing. We want you to be a part of the show, but we also want to hear from you. All you got to do is leave us a message using the talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app. We'll receive the message, and if it's good enough, you might even hear yourself on the show. Tell us how good we're doing. Welcome Mark to the show, or just tell us how bad we're doing. We may not play that.
That's not going to happen.
But regardless, get over there and leave us a message. Mark, day 1 is in the books. Now we're headed to day 2, and there's a lot of things that are happening within the Olympics.
Man, there's so much going on. I mean, you cannot start without saying Simone Biles.
Exactly.
What a great career.
Unbelievable.
I mean, you know, even though you get a silver medal, people say, "Oh, you got a silver medal." The second best on earth at something. I mean, you can't deny that. She's just incredible hard. I think that she's already the GOAT. She's already the best gymnast of all time. I want to see if she may even try to make one more.
If she does, she will be probably the oldest, I would think, to ever do gymnastics, because that would put her at 31 years old at the next Olympics. She's leaving here with 11 medals in her career. She's got 3 gold and a silver here at Paris. And you said it. It is one of the greatest feats that we have seen ever when you're dealing with women's gymnastics.
Yeah, and the same thing with Ryan Krauser.
Yeah.
You know, you have a guy that is third Olympic Games and third gold medal.
Man.
Like, and he is not slowing down.
And he doesn't look like he wants to slow down.
So I'm
6'7". That's the thing that continues to crack me up is like you start to believe that a person of that stature is able to achieve the things that he was able to achieve. It is amazing when you sit back and look at it.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many sports. Hey, I got a question for you about the Olympics. I went to sleep last night watching the equestrian because I was sleepy and I wanted to go to sleep. So
I just decided I was going to watch the equestrian.
Hey, man,
that'll get you sleep.
Stuff, they need to sell that.
What
it
you
was
mean?
Like medicine.
That was your melatonin?
It just took me right off into the Netherlands.
And of course, you saw Snoop over there getting ready to perform himself. Him and Martha Stewart, they were there for the equestrians. But that is an interesting type of deal, man.
The horse is the athlete,
right? Just like bulls. When you look at PBR, those bulls are considered athletes as well. They get graded on how hard they make those guys fall off of them.
Nah.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah. You don't need to be on.
Hey, you know, I saw somebody that you know, and that all the Longhorn Nation knows ride a bull before.
Who'd you see ride a bull?
Tony Brackens.
Well, I mean, he big country though.
I saw.
Was it a horse or a bull?
Well, no,
because I know I've seen him ride
rope a bull. He was on a horse.
Yeah.
I mean, just out of the gate, pew, that, you know, nothing's faster than pew. That's the fastest thing on earth.
That is a very good point right there.
And he took off, he roped the cow, jumped off the horse onto the ground, kept running, grabbed the cow, body slammed it, and then tied the feet together.
Is that something that you've ever done?
I almost cut. No, I'm hard. I was 400 pounds. Where are you going? I would have needed a Clydesdale. I would need one of the Budweiser horses. And those horses don't do that.
Yeah, they would have been prancing. Those are the ones that prance.
Yeah, man. I'm about styling and profiling.
Man, Tony Brackens, that's a large human being,
unbelievable
too.
Athlete he was.
Yeah.
And to be able to do rodeo at a high level like he did and play football, I mean, it's just, man, some people on this planet, they mutants, man. He was
one of those blessed. He was one of those blessed athletes that was able to adjust to pretty much everything that was being thrown at him. But you look at these Olympics, and of course, the story of today's Olympics is a promiscuous athlete was escorted off of the village because she was having a little bit too much fun in the village.
She's not the first one
to get escorted off.
She's just the first one to be publicly put out there for being promiscuous. And man, they glorified it in '92. We were in Barcelona, and Trojan gave 10,000 condoms to the U.S. Olympic team's sports medicine. They were gone in the first week.
Like what?
I'm not making this up. Google it. You think I'm lying? They had to send another 10,000, and they did not last the rest of the games.
Oh my goodness!
That's 20,000 units gone. Did I say units?
Yeah, you did say units. Well, I meant yeah, like, you did say units. But that's okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. They were sent home. So here's the deal. It says the title of the story says Olympian axed for complaining about not being allowed to compete with her boyfriend. No, that's not what happened. That is not the one that is the true story. There was one sent home because she decided that it was time for her to hang out with everybody, and everybody did not want to hang out with her. She was 20. She's a 20-year-old young lady from Paraguay. And they told her that you are not allowed to hang out here anymore. It was
an organizer committee too.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was the Olympic committee in the village.
Yeah.
They just said, look, man, you're not doing nothing with your team.
Yeah. She was hanging out at Disneyland getting drunk, they said.
and she was wearing like G-string bikinis sunning in the village.
Yep.
And
wearing skimpy outfits inside the Olympic Village, socializing with too many athletes.
Listen.
Say what?
Listen, she's exploring her sexuality.
Well, what she's exploring is how she's going to go see the rest of the world because they sent her butt home.
She's going to be famous.
Yeah, she is. Let's make you famous. Oh, they all count the same. Coming up next, we're going to talk about Coach Sark, what he said to the media yesterday as he met. The morning kickoff is just getting started right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
In 10 days, face your fear in IMAX. Alien Romulus arrives in theaters August 16th.
This report is brought to you by Salvation Army's Day of Giving, August 21st. Get more details at salvationarmyaustin.org.
Good morning. If you're traveling on the southbound side of the Mopac frontage road, be on the lookout for a stalled vehicle right at Steck. It's blocking that right lane, not causing much of a delay or backup, just obviously wanting to use plenty of caution as you are making your way through. Meanwhile, be on the lookout for some road work that we do have going on around town. Northbound 35 frontage road. That right lane's closed right now, right between Park Plaza and Runberg. I'm Ryan Silva. That's a check on your Austin traffic.
This report is sponsored by Bank of America. Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America, N.A. Copyright 2024.
Pain from arthritis is just awful. Bone-on-bone constant pain. It robs you of so much of the stuff you love to do. But there are effective ways to deal with that pain. And I'm not talking about drugs or surgery. Listen, there are exciting new cellular therapies that can get you lasting relief. And the place to go? QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics uses cutting-edge treatments that accelerate your own body's healing properties, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. If you're living with chronic pain from arthritis or injury, you need to know steroids and surgery and pain pills are no longer your only option. Learn how QC Kinetics can use advanced regenerative medicine to treat the pain, enhance your joints, restore your mobility, and give you long-term relief with no downtime. The local medical professionals at QC Kinetics are ready to help you get your life back with regenerative, restorative cellular treatments for your achy joints. This is the future of medicine. Call for a free consultation now. 512-593-4303. 512-593-4303. 512-593-4303.
Your garage door won't go up or down, so give us a call. We're all over town. Promise to you is honest and fair. The real Cedar Park overhead doors. The garage door on your house needs repairs. Call Cedar Park Doors and we'll be there. We'll get there fast and we'll treat you fair. Call Cedar Park Overhead Doors.
If a garage door spring goes sprung or your opener won't open, the only place you need to call is the real Cedar Park Overhead Doors. Why us? When you need a repair done honestly, fairly, and you want it done right, the real Cedar Park Overhead Doors will always answer the call. We've been helping openers open and springs stay sprung across Central Texas for more than 30 years. Our phones get answered 24/7. Let our family serve yours. Customer first reviews, because we fix it right the first time, every time. 24 hours a day and online at cedarparkgaragedoors.com.
Work really hard while the other guy snores. Happy customers, we have more. We'll get it right and we'll get the job done. We're Cedar Park Overhead Doors. 335-7441.
If you're in the market for a wood fence for your home or business, Viking Fence is the right choice for you. Viking Fence has been in business for over 50 years and takes pride in being the most reliable fence company in Central Texas. Viking Fence does gorgeous work, from simple privacy fences to custom projects. Their quality is unmatched. Viking is the only fence company with their own facility where they custom cut red cedar, the most durable and attractive of fence materials, and offer 3 grades of fence pickets, one for every budget. Compare their lumber against the big box stores. And there is no comparison on quality and price. So whether Viking installs your fence or you're doing it yourself, Viking Fence will ensure your satisfaction. Excellent work, great service, and an honest reputation. Call Viking Fence today at 837-6411 for a free estimate or visit their wood fence galleries at vikingfence.com. When you think fence, think Viking.
Summer. Wait, we need to finish school shopping.
We've got this. The kids' favorite Good and Gather snacks at Target are now at a new lower price.
And $5 lunch boxes. Let's get Luna the flour bento box.
Good idea. And for a Mega Shark Fan Max, I got the Shark Backpack. It's only $20.
Even 25-cent select crayons and $6 tees.
And we're done.
Now, where were we?
Cheers to us. When it comes to finishing your supply list, Target has your back to school.
Harbaugh Hardge here for Orchard.com. Selling your home is a catch-22. Do you pay for upgrades to sell for more or use the money to buy your next home? Orchard gives you both. Orchard makes you an impressive backup cash offer, unlocking cash to buy your new home. Plus, Orchard makes price-boosting upgrades at no upfront cost. One customer said, Orchard sold my home for far more than I expected, and I got a golf cart. Let Orchard help you sell your home for more. Visit Orchard.com for a free home evaluation. That's Orchard.com.
Earl Campbell here for my good friends at Austin Shoe Hospital. Austin Shoe Hospital has been repairing my favorite boots and shoes for over 30 years. They are the best Western boot repair company in Texas and can repair any boot brand or style. Visit the master cobblers at Austin Shoe Hospital, and they will bring all your shoes, boots, and bags back to life. If you can wear it, they can repair it. Oh, yes, and hook 'em horns.
Visit AustinShoeHospital.com.
Febreze. So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day. Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Injectable TRT messes with your family jewels. Double your testosterone with one daily oral dose. Testosterone Protocol by MaximusTribe.com uses a non-suppressive powerhouse blend that increases testosterone up to 2 times. Enhance your mood, improve your body comp, boost your energy, maintain fertility without deflating those jewels at MaximusTribe.com. Get $100 off Testosterone Protocol using code RADIO100 on MaximusTribe.com. Results may vary and outcomes are not guaranteed. Claims have not been reviewed by the FDA, and Maximus does not claim to treat or prevent disease.
The final week from Paris.
It's Noah Lyles! The 20-year drought is over for the Americans. The 800 still belongs to the one and only Katie Ledecky. Scotty Scheffler adds gold to his green jackets.
Bring the summer games with you from your phone to your car or wherever you listen. Open the free iHeart app now and enable push notifications for live updates from Paris. iHeartRadio, the exclusive audio home of NBC's coverage of the 2024 Paris Olympics.
Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone presents the Craig Way Show. Join Craig Way weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. only on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. We're back to the Hardge Knocks Life on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone with Mike Hardge. Follow Hardge on Twitter and Instagram at Hardball Hardge.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff with Mike Harbaugh Hardge.
It's the morning kickoff.
It is
Good
the
morning.
That's what it's all about. We're going to get all that figured out here today and get all our stuff entered in there so we can be ready to rock and roll. And in case you didn't know who that was, that's the world's strongest man, Mr. Mark Henry, part of the morning kickoff. That's right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. But we want to give you an opportunity to not only listen to us and have a good time, we want you an opportunity to win some tickets. That's right, folks. Post Malone will be performing at the Germania Insurance Amphitheater October the 26th and 27th. We're giving you a chance to win. All you got to do is go over to am1300thezone.com for a chance to win and enter your keyword. And today's keyword is Austin. Enter Austin at am1300thezone.com in the designated area, and you'll get a chance to see and win tickets to see Post Malone October the 26th and 27th at the Germania Insurance Amphitheater. One thing about Post Malone, in case you don't know, he's a huge Dallas Cowboy fan. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But right now, we want to get into the conversation of Coach Sarkisian. Coach Sarkisian met with the media yesterday. Yeah. Texas football has now practiced their 5th practice today. They get to go and put on all the pads.
clack.
They're going to be popping heads and popping collars. They're going to be ready to go. Because you know as well as I do, you go through the practices, Mark, you and I have both played football. You go through the practices and you get tired of going up against your buddies in the skulls. Right. You get tired. You're ready to move around and start popping somebody. Now, they had the shoulder pads on, so they've been good in the helmets. But now you go full pad, and it just kind of changes the way things activate at practice.
Well, I mean, the offensive line is the first ones that's going to benefit from contact.
Yep.
Because now they get to put their helmets in there.
Yep.
And secondly, the defensive guys, that's how you establish dominance. And you have all of these guys that have been torching you because you couldn't touch them.
Right.
You couldn't handle them a little bit hard.
Correct.
And now you get to even the odds because the offense has the advantage. They know where they're going.
Yep.
And you can't touch them either. But now, the defensive guys are salivating.
Oh, man. Can you imagine Anthony Hill filling that hole when somebody's trying to make a move? Because they've been able to cut through. They've been able to, you just tap them real quick and they're still running. Well, now all that stops.
Yeah, Alfred Collins has been standing out.
Yep.
I can't say it's about time because he always was doing a good job.
Yep.
He just had guys in front of him that were doing better than him.
No doubt.
And those guys got drafted into the NFL. So that's pretty good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing Alfred Collins eat some of these double teams. Yep. And I want to see Anthony Hill. I mean, just screaming downhill. You can't teach 4-4.
No, you can't. And not only that, you can't teach a guy that all he wants to do is play ball. He talked about it last week when we got a chance to meet with Anthony Hill, and he was saying, I was a guy that was playing football and doing things wrong, but I was doing it fast. And the coaches told me, once you figure it out, it's going to be special. Derek Johnson told me a while back, he said, if Anthony Hill can understand his keys and where he's supposed to be, he's going to be deadly. And that's coming from a Hall of Famer. That's a guy that understands what it's like to play that position. And that's a kid that is growing up, listening, paying attention to what he's being taught, and going out there and eating.
And coming from Derek Johnson,
yeah,
who has like some of the greatest Longhorn highlights of all time. Remember the right before half?
The punch out, man. That dude is
that punch.
He's that guy.
55-yard rundown.
Yeah.
And punches it out of bounds. Like you don't see linebackers. You see maybe some safeties and corners run people down. You don't see big 250-pound linebackers run that fast.
Yeah, he was built different.
If Anthony Hill is a fraction of that, then man, we got something.
I think you're gonna get more than a fraction, if you ask me. I think we're gonna get a lot.
Don't get me excited, Hard.
I'm gonna get you excited. Matter of fact, I want you to hear from Coach Sark as he talked about the opening practices and how they are situated right now.
5 practices in, very proud of our team. This camp has been, like I said, after the first day, the first week and a half, it was going to be tough, and we were going to make it tough on them. And we were going to put them in some uncomfortable situations. We're going to get them out of their comfort zone, and we're going to learn how to excel when we're out of our comfort zone to try to expand that comfort zone. And I think our players have really embraced that. It's been very competitive through 5 days. I'm seeing growth and development at a lot of spots across the board. We're asking for more from everybody, like we should, through 5 practices, but I've right now not really any complaints about the way we're going. We've been healthy. So again, a credit to our strength and conditioning staff of getting our guys in good shape to perform, and credit to our players. They're really exuding the mental toughness that's needed to go along with the physical toughness needed, especially now we've had 3 days now in uppers, and then tomorrow we get into full pads.
And that to me is I'm not going to say the moment of truth, but this is when guys start to really show who they are. When you start getting hit and being physical in practice. Now, everybody's strong. You're a Division I athlete. Everybody's gone through some of the tough parts of football. But now is when you really start to dive in to what's going on and seeing, okay, this guy gets it. This guy doesn't. You got to get up to speed, because we talked about this, Mark. The depth that this Texas football team has at this particular moment It's totally different than 3 years ago. But not only is it totally different, the types of players that they are bringing in, everybody can be replaced. And that was not the conversation that Texas was having
No,
before.
not at all. That was one of the main reasons why people doubted them having success in the SEC, that they didn't have enough big guys and they didn't have depth behind the skill that they had up front. Like now, Texas has got all the boxes checked.
Yep.
And, here we are 25 days away from football.
25 days.
25 25 is one of my favorite. No, I got a little choked up because I get emotional.
It sounded like it.
Because it's Jamal Charles' number.
Oh, my gosh.
And I love him.
I can tell.
Bro, that was one of my favorite Longhorns.
Oh, man. It's kind of hard for it not to be.
When he cut, it was different.
Yeah.
I mean, the only person I could think of that was like him was like Ramon Taylor.
Oh, man. That's from the 254. I know that.
I mean, 4-2?
Yeah, that's the 254, dog. Romance Taylor.
Oh, you got to roll your tongue.
You got to, yeah, when you say that,
and we talked about him yesterday, Eric Metcalf.
Yep.
Put your foot in the ground and disappear.
Yeah.
Like, do we have a guy like that now?
Jaden Blue. I think Jaden Blue is that guy. From all reports, he's been having a great camp. He's going to continue to push CJ Baxter. Both of those guys are guys. And he's waited his time, kind of what you were talking about with Alfred Collins. He had to wait his time to be able to get to where he is today, and that's going to show as this season goes on. We already know Sark likes to use multiple backs in all of his sets, so you'll see different players in different spots, but those running backs will be able to do what they do, and one's a speed guy, one's a power guy, but both can run. Both have power. We've seen Jaden Blue run people over. We've seen CJ Baxter run from people and vice versa. But what Texas was able to do was go out and get some fast guys on the outside. The wide receiver room is probably one of the deepest in the country. And with that being said, his wide receiver core has the flexibility to play inside or out.
Which is a big deal because in college, that's not common.
Right.
In the NFL, the guys that play X, play Z, they play in the slot.
Yeah.
You got Debo Samuel type guys. They put them in the backfield. McCaffrey is pretty much a hybrid player.
Yeah.
Running back, wide receiver type of guy. You learn all those routes. But in college, they don't do that as much because the guys don't have enough reps. They're usually young guys.
Yeah.
Now you got the portal. So you got some older guys playing that have that kind of experience. But now Sark, his system is unbelievably unpredictable a lot of times because he'll put guys in motion. And when you put guys in motion, you know what coverage they're in.
Yep.
You know if they're running a man or a zone. And you basically dictate. If they say, okay, we're going to go in the shell and basically play a base defense and see what they give us, you're telling them what to do.
Yeah.
Now you can call plays with no repercussions. You don't have to worry about blitzes. Oh, we just got to sit here and pick them apart.
Well, now they got the helmet communication too. So you'll be able to see that, and Sark will be able to see that. Well, let's hear what Sark had to say about these wide receivers.
The one thing about our receiver core, Coach Jackson and I were visiting on this last night, the beauty of kind of the first, let's call it 6 guys, about 5 of those 6 could play outside or inside. They're not one-dimensional players. I would say Ryan Wingo is probably a little bit more outside, limited right now just because of the lack of maybe college experience, and he's really good when he's out there. Doesn't mean he can't play inside. But the other 5, any one of them could go in there and play well and play at a high level, and any one of them can go outside and play at a high level. And so I think that's great for us because it gives us a lot of position flexibility. They can work well with one another, easy communication. And we haven't been as fortunate for that aspect over the last couple of years. And so it is a different space for us, but it's very comforting.
The funny part about that is when you bring in different guys and you watch them on film, you don't exactly, what their skill level is, the talent that they have. But when you get them in your system and you're able to see what they can achieve, you start getting a little bit more excited about it. I know we're still early in the process, but you can hear the giddiness in Coach Sark's voice when he talks about the flexibility and the fact that all of those guys are interchangeable. As he said, the only one who can't right now
is the young one.
The young one that is trying to figure it out, but he's a beast at where he is.
He's a jump ball guy. He's a big body guy. He's a position like he posts people up. He's a center playing with forward.
Yeah.
And once Sark has a year with him and is able to teach him how to get in and out of breaks and play on the outside as well as play in the slot as well.
Yeah.
You got a big body guy that can play in the slot and put speed on the outside. Wow. Sark likes the speed guy.
Oh yeah. That's what that's his toys. When that is coming to the party, he's excited about it because now he has so many different things that he's able to do with these position guys, but he can't do it without his quarterback.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that his quarterback is trying to learn is being more pocket present and learning how to deal with the pocket.
I think there's two levels to that. One, we have to make sure there's a pocket for him to step up into. And I'll say for the first part, I think our pass rush has been really good so far through 5 days. And there's been some days when there hasn't been a great pocket to step up into. And that's a really good challenge for offensive line. One, we've got good players on our defensive front. And two, we've got a good scheme, with the pass rush games that we have going on. But I think when the opportunity has been there, Quinn has done a nice job of stepping up. And when he can get his feet underneath him and he's stepping up in the pocket, he's deadly because he can throw darts and he can hit spots, down the field. I'm not just talking intermediate throws, but down the field. And so we've got to continue to work on that pocket for him so that he gets comfortable with his pocket presence. But again, a credit to our defense. We want to make it as hard as we can on our offense too. And our defensive front is doing a good job right now.
That's what it's all about. Iron sharpens iron. We've talked about it multiple times. The way that they get after each other and the things that are happening during practice is something that Sark has built toward. And for that to happen, it's been a good look for the University of Texas. We see what happens next, and we'll continue that conversation. But there's still a lot to get into. But coming up next, we've got Joe Cook of Inside Texas. He, too, has been to practice, and, of course, he's at Media Day, so we'll get a chance to bounce some thoughts off of him right here on the morning kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone presents the Craig Way Show.
Of course, the Nike headquarters are in Beaverton, and the Texas women's team and several of the other teams that were there were able to have off-site practices at the Nike headquarters. But they did have one regulation. You could not wear another branded sneaker and walk into the building.
I would have been like, well, I guess I need a new Nike pair then.
And they said our store is right over here.
Join Craig Way weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. Longhorns basketball plays here.
Pass picked off by Dylan Mitchell. Here is D. Mitch driving in for a slam dunk. The circles for the right side. Asmus goes right around Heyman, puts it up. Missed it. Follow slam by Weaver. Boy, did he elevate into Weaver. Oh, my goodness. Into Mitchell, a slam dunk, a no-look feed.
Longhorns basketball plays here. Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
This report is brought to you by Salvation Army's Day of Giving, August 21st. Get more details at salvationarmyaustin.org.
Good morning and happy Tuesday. Plenty of good news right now as outside of our usual rush hour delays for this time of morning, really not seeing any major issues on any of the highways and byways. Now, we do have some construction work right now. Southbound 35, the left lane is going to be closed between 45 North Toll and Grand Avenue Parkway. That's just adding about 3 to 5 minutes to your drive at the very most. I'm Ryan Silva. That's a check around your Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Randall's. Get great summer savings on all your favorites at Randall's. This week at Randall's, get General Mills cereal, Nature Valley granola bars, gallons of Lucerne milk, and Coffee Mate creamer for $1.97 each, and Skippy peanut butter and Thomas English muffins or bagels for $2.77 each.
Are you ready for a new car? Well, here's what to do. Here's what you do. You call Apple Leasing, 346-9977. That's 346-9977. You're probably saying, well, what kind of cars do they have at Apple Leasing? You name it, they've got it. They'll get it for you, whatever you want. Maybe you can't make up your mind what you want. Well, they will give you an honest opinion of what is best for you. And the payment, by the way, is often a lot less than if you were to finance that exact same car, and you can do it with no money down. Trade in the car that you're driving and get into a brand new under warranty car from Apple Leasing. Give them a call today. It's 346-9977. That's 346-9977, or go to appleleasing.com. You know, when you got that big SUV a few years ago, it was perfect for you. Well, life changes. Maybe you need something small. Call Apple Leasing today, 346-9977.
We need your help to protect your right to AM radio in your car. AM is always there in times of need with the key information for our community. The overwhelming majority of legislators support a bill to keep AM radio in cars, but time's running out. Please text the 2 letters AM to 52886 and ask Congress to bring this bill to the floor for a vote now.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month. Text stop to stop. A message from the station.
In this week's Marketers Report, Angela Zapata, CMO Hyundai Motor America, discusses measuring audio.
The measurement capability within audio, I think, surprised all of us. We have seen a huge return on our investment. Seeing real numbers has helped us continue to invest.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the data, audiences, and influencers you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
He went to doctor after doctor looking for relief and always walked away discouraged. Surgery and drugs hadn't worked before, so why would he try them again? That's when Carmen made an appointment at QC Kinetics.
I'll tell you one thing. I got a spring in my step. The bounce is back in my step. My quality of life improving exponentially since I've been going to QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics has treated over 35,000 patients like Carmen using their own healing components, concentrating them into damaged knees, hips, shoulders, and backs. No surgery, no drugs.
The pain's gone. Quality of life so much better, and mentally I'm in such a better place because I know that I'm not going to wake up to the same old struggles that I have been dealing with every single day. 10 months ago, no joke, I was a prime candidate for a knee replacement. Today, I'm not because of the treatment I'm receiving at QC Kinetics.
Carmen finally got relief, and it was easy, starting with a free consultation at QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 512-593-4303. That's 512-593-4303. 512-593-4303.
The light is fading, your hands are sore, and the last tool's been put away. Now's the time to feel the satisfaction that comes with a job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels a little different. Your wallet. Because we believe that everyone deserves hardworking tools at hardworking prices. And that's what we have here. So, whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Picture this. A stranger with a crowbar pries open a window. A fire breaks out in the kitchen. It's moments like this where every second counts. That's why you need Simply Safe Home Security. With Simply Safe 24/7 monitoring agents acting within 5 seconds of receiving your alarm, assessing the situation, and sending emergency responders. Visit simplysafedan.com. Save 20% on a new system today. simplysafedan.com. And remember, there's no safe like Simply Safe.
From the team behind Atlanta Monster and Up and Vanished comes a brand new investigative true crime podcast, Flashpoint. Listen as they explore the homegrown terrorism threat through the lens of the Atlanta Olympic bombing and its aftermath.
There is a bomb in Centennial Park. You have 30 minutes.
Listen to Flashpoint on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Flashpoint to start listening.
Febreze. So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Rangers walk it off in the 10th, beat the Astros in Arlington. White Sox fell to the A's for their 21st straight loss, tying the American League record. The Texans starters will play during their preseason game against the Steelers Friday night in Pittsburgh. Longhorns landed at number 4 in the preseason coaches poll. Texas A&M number 20. Georgia number one. I'm Ronza Moss.
This is Super Bowl champion Alfred Williams. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Staples Stores.
With Staples Hot Deals, you'll find super low prices on hundreds of items for back to school. Right now, 24-pack Crayola crayons and comp books are just 50 cents each at Staples. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program. In-store only. Offer ends 8/24, limit 10. Save big on back to school at Staples.
All the good stuff. Yeah. Camps keeps you on top of pop culture.
After months of speculation, Robert Downey Jr. is officially returning to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But instead of a return for Iron Man, he'll be playing villainous character Victor Von Doom, aka Doctor Doom. The announcement came at San Diego Comic-Con, with Downey's new character set to appear in at least the next two Avengers films, Doomsday and Secret War. The actor himself was on hand for the reveal, commenting, quote, "New mask, same task. What did I tell you? I like playing complicated characters." Avengers Doomsday is set for release in May of 2026, with Avengers Secret War due out the following year.
All right.
And that's what's poppin'. I'm Camps on iHeartRadio.
Join the voice of the Texas Longhorns, Craig Way, each day from 2 to 5 p.m. for the Craig Way Show on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff with Mike Harbaugh, Hardge, and of course, the world's strongest man, Mark Henry. And joining us as he always does on Tuesday morning is the one and only Joe Cook of Inside Texas. You can follow him on social media at Joseph Cook 89. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, fellas. Thanks for having me on.
As always, man, we appreciate you jumping up and getting up with us early in the morning to talk a little Texas football, because finally we are here. We're 5 days in to the practices. Tomorrow they get today, they get a chance to put on the pads and get after it. What are some of the biggest takeaways that you have from this Texas Longhorn football team in the early stages?
Yeah, I'm always impressed by the receivers. I think that kind of goes without saying at this point, when even Steve Sarkisian, who throughout his time has kind of has deployed a rotation that is very NFL style, doesn't get past the fourth guy very often. I think he even knows that he's got to play more, and that's reflected in how the guys look on the field and how they sound behind the scenes too. I always look at Isaiah Bond and think he's probably one of the more physically impressive receivers on that team. But then you look around and you see Jonte Cook, you see Matthew Golden, DeAndre Moore, Ryan Wingo, Silas Bolden, different type of physically impressive, but apparently his game is just something different for someone of his size. And then the other thing is just kind of how, everything seems positive. And I know it's easy when you're going up against your own guys and there's not a whole lot of real hitting going on. But Steve Sarkisian, I remember ahead of the 2021 year and ahead of 2022, there'd be times when he wouldn't be afraid to head to the media and not necessarily MF the guys, but tell them that they didn't do as well and tell us that they didn't do as well as he expected. And that's a rarity these days. So I'm liking that. One other thing that I do like to see is their willingness to try some new things in the back end. I think you were there yesterday for the little bit of the practice we got to see. And, they marched out Jelani McDonald, a sophomore who I think when they first recruited him, expected him to maybe be a linebacker. They marched him out with the first teamers at free safety. So they're not only, trying to build things up for this upcoming season, but they're working on a few different things, trying things out. And I think that's the sign of a pragmatic staff that can, do a little bit of everything with camp.
Joe, this is Mark Henry. You mentioned Mr. Bolden. Has he been doing a lot more of the jet sweeps, screens, tunnels, and so forth? Or how do you see him being used?
Yeah, so I think when he first signed, back, I think it was in December, maybe even January, something like that. I kind of thought he would be the next Keelan Robinson and be often used, like you mentioned, on those sweeps, on those screens, that type of thing. But one of the players that I think he's grown to remind me of is a guy who had multiple 1,000-yard seasons at Texas Tech and then played in the NFL a little bit, is Jakeem Grant. Like, he's someone that, even though he's 5'8", even though he's 160, he is athletic enough and talented enough to do regular wide receiver things. So I've seen some people label him like, oh, he's just the slot, and he's going to be doing screen. He'll probably be catching some screens. He'll probably be getting him the ball in some pretty creative ways. But even at his size, he is able to, and he's done this. He's lined up in the boundary. He's run routes. He's made some nice catches even in the viewing windows, and he's continued to be one of the most talked about players at practice. And that sometimes comes with creative ways of getting the balls in his hands, but at the same time, like, he's catching passes downfield. He's catching passes running routes. So you're going to see a little bit of everything from Bolden, because I think he really can be a useful weapon on this team.
So you see him lining up at the X and the Z.
Correct. And I
Wow.
think if you watch Steve Sarkisian's offenses, they move everybody all over. I think Xavier Worthy, when you look at his splits last year, they were, I think it was 30, 40, kind of all over the place. But they are not afraid to move him around. And you like Xavier Worthy also, for someone who is maybe 5'10", maybe 160, he played like he was a few inches taller and a few pounds heavier. And I think they want to see the same from Bolden. We'll learn a little bit more about that as the full pads come on today.
We know Sark likes motion. Who's the guy that they're using a lot of the motion with the most?
I think it's not limited to any one player. They when they have three wide receivers on the field, they try to move somebody almost every play. And often it's usually the guy who's not lined up on the ball, but that can vary from time to time. When they have two tight ends on the field, they usually put one of them in motion to kind of change the run defense's front. So they won't pigeonhole it to any one player, but I'd expect that, even with that in mind, the idea that they're gonna put it into these guys' hands they trust. They're gonna put it into Bolden's hands. They're gonna put it into Bond's hands. I bet Jonte Cook gets involved a little bit too. But I'm really curious to see just kind of how the wide receiver depth chart evolves over the course of these first couple of weeks of camp and following Saturday's scrimmage before they start having to really get ready for Colorado State, maybe a little bit of Michigan as well.
We're talking to Joe Cook of Inside Texas. You can follow him on social media at Joseph Cook 89. Get over to Inside Texas because they've got a bunch of articles, and Joe wrote an article yesterday talking about the defensive end position and what you've seen from Trey Moore. There's been a lot of speculation and conversation about, is Trey Moore ready to fit that position in the SEC? We got a chance to talk to Kelvin Banks, and he talked about the different types of levels and work ethic that Trey Moore has. What have you heard and what have you seen thus far from Trey Moore?
Yeah, he's still with the first team there at that boundary edge position. And Steve Sarkisian even took some time to talk about him yesterday. So, look, he's not the biggest, but he's twitchy. And it's kind of funny to hear that because you look at his listing and he's 6'3", 245. And that's, still a pretty big guy over there on the edge. But he's one thing that's stood out to me, or actually a couple things that has stood out to me about Trey Moore. He's gotten better every year. He's raised his level of play as his level of competition has gone up. And before Nick Saban retired him, Nick Saban wanted Trey Moore really, really badly. So all those things that have turned into him showing up at Texas, being a very effective defensive end in that position. And that's in a room that has guys who have been at Texas for a while. I mean, Ethan Burke is in his third year. I think Justice Finkley's in his third year. There's also talented guys in there. Colton Vosick was, I think, a top 80 player. Colin Simmons was a 5-star. sometimes those guys take time, whether it be through injury or, just being a new player to college football. But that's still someone in Trey Moore that has come in, gone from Conference USA at UTSA to All-American Athletic Conference Player of the Year at UTSA. To now he's going to give it his go in the SEC. And so far, it sounds like he's been working really hard and doing some great things against quality offensive tackles like Kelvin Banks and Cam Williams, and even the second stringers like Trevor Gooseby and Andre Kojo.
Well, we've talked about it. We can't wait. They got their first scrimmage coming up this Saturday. Depth charts will be coming out soon. And, of course, the main thing that they need to work on is getting off that edge. And if Trey Moore is anything like we expect, they're going to have a good time. Joe, I want to thank you for joining us this morning, and I'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Hardge, Mark,
appreciate you.
Much.
Appreciate you. As we come back, we're going to talk Rangers and Astros. That's right, folks. We had walk-off fashion right there on the morning kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone presents the Craig Way Show.
Can we start a new drinking game? I thought about this last night while watching local meteorologists on all of the channels. Every time a local television meteorologist says the weather models do not agree, take a drink. You won't last through the evening because they say it. The European model, the North American model, this model says that, and the models are quite often not in agreement with one another. Every time they say that, take a drink.
Join Craig Way weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m.
iHeartRadio Olympics Update.
Delaney Schnell fell short of qualifying for the women's 10-meter platform diving final.
Amazing grip entry that she has. And this is unfortunately not it.
The U.S. men's water polo team beat Croatia to advance to the quarterfinals, while the beach volleyball team of Miles Partain and Andrew Benish beat Italy in the round of 16.
For NBC's live coverage from Paris, search Olympics on the free iHeartRadio app.
This report is brought to you by Salvation Army's Day of Giving, August 21st. Get more details at salvationarmyaustin.org.
Good morning. Be on the lookout for a minor collision right now over on the southbound side of 35, right at 1431. It is over on the left shoulder, not affecting the main lanes. Still, though, close to that fast lane, so just use some extra caution and brake taps as you are traveling through. We also have an accident right now on Lamar, right at Masterson. So traffic right now just a bit slower than usual as you make your way through the intersection. I'm Ryan Silva. That's a check on your Austin traffic.
This report is sponsored by Davis Law Firm.
From a fender bender to a total loss, Davis Law Firm has a team of expert attorneys ready to get you back on the road with the verdict or settlement you deserve. Y hablamos español. Want more? Call the fours. Davis Law Firm, Austin, San Antonio, 444-4444. Attorney consultation by appointment only.
Lenovo.
I wasn't sure what tech my business needed.
I wasn't sure what tech my business needed.
So I decided on my own.
So I went to Lenovo.com for expert advice.
My solution was a bad fit.
Our new tech is the perfect fit for our team.
When every decision matters, join Lenovo Pro, Lenovo's free membership program at Lenovo.com, and unlock new AI experiences with Lenovo's ThinkPad X1 Carbon, powered by Intel Core Ultra processors.
Now is the perfect time to start on your next success. When you apply to University of Maryland Global Campus by August 29th, you'll pay no application fee. An accredited state university, UMGC offers online and hybrid courses. Plus, you can earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. Get your app fee waived through August 29th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
Experience no-stress savings at Henna Chevrolet.
I was looking for a new Silverado and just assumed I'd get the same deal wherever I went. But after one extremely pushy dealership that wouldn't budge on price without talking to multiple managers, I went to Henna and was shocked at how friendly and easygoing they were. Plus, I saved thousands and actually enjoyed the experience.
Low pressure, lower price. HennaChevyAustin.com. Together, let's drive.
This summer, it's rosé all day at Cover 3 and Cover 2. Enjoy a refreshing glass of Dow Rosé for just $8. All day, every day, all summer long. Available at all locations. Cheers to the endless summer vibes at Cover 3 and Cover 2.
Happening now on iHeartRadio. All things 2024 Paris Olympics. Listen to NBC's live play-by-play coverage of swimming, basketball, volleyball, gymnastics, and everything Team USA from Paris. All on the free iHeartRadio app. Listen now.
Hook 'em, Horns fans. Catch every moment of Texas Longhorns content free on your phone, TV, or computer. Check out the revamped Longhorn Network or LHN to stay connected all season with exclusive content, highlights, behind the scenes, student athlete interviews, a 24/7 channel, and replays of the greatest games. Plus, enjoy academic programs like campus tours and inspiring commencement speeches. Watch game week and post-game press conferences, live football statcasts with play-by-play radio audio, and coaches shows like Longhorn Weekly. Create a free Longhorn Network account for personalized watch lists, easy sharing with friends, and more. No account? No problem. All content is free to watch. Watch LHN on your iOS and Android devices. Stream directly from TexasLonghorns.com and on streaming TV apps like Chromecast, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, and more. Don't wait. Download the LHN app today and dive into the Texas Longhorns action. Find TexasLonghorns.com.
Did you know that solar energy gives you independence from utilities and helps keep your energy costs down? Why not get a free estimate with locally owned Divided Sky Roofing and Solar? You can get more information at mydividedsky.com. That's mydividedsky.com.
From the Audiovisual Consultation Studio, this is KBET AM Austin, an iHeart radio station, the exclusive audio home of NBC's coverage of the 2024 Paris Olympics. You're listening to Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Hardge on the beat. Hardge on the beat now.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. No, I'm just messing with you. Hardge, and of course, my man Mark Henry, Khalil behind the board doing a great job. Special shout out to Joe Cook for bringing it as he always does. Make sure you get over to Joseph Cook 89 or just go over to Inside Texas to find out the latest.
Joe talented, man.
Yeah, he's got some skills on that, man. He's got some skills on that. I wanted to bring this up because yesterday the Texas Rangers hosted the Houston Astros as they have their regular season battle as they always do. And last night, the Texas Rangers walked them off with a home run by Josh Smith to end the game. It was his first hit of the game, and he ended up having his first career walk-off as the Texas Rangers defeated the Houston Astros 4-3. The Astros are still 2 games above the Texas Rangers, or actually, it's 4 games above the Rangers, and they're going to continue to battle to see if they can close that gap. The Seattle Mariners are in first place in the AL West, Astros in second, and the Rangers 5 game backs of being in first place. This battle will continue the rest of the week, which I'm excited about because I always like when these two teams play each other because the battle continues and they don't like each other. They can care less about each other. The two fan bases, they want to get out it.
Like, why is it like that?
Because it's Texas versus Houston. And both of these teams.
So is it like Dallas versus Houston?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Even though they're called Texas.
Yes, it is exactly what it is. Both of these fan bases don't like each other. They consider the Astros the cheaters, and the Ranger fans continue to bring that up. And yesterday, they drew first blood. Tonight, they get a chance to go at each other again. And I always pay attention to this series because of that energy, but there's also that mindset of can they catch each other? Because both teams are sitting out of the playoffs right now. If the playoffs were to start today, and I hate that saying, if the playoffs were to start today, both teams would be out of the playoffs.
Wow.
Neither one of them would be in it. So There's a lot of work to be done. And as I said, a walk-off home run yesterday. I had Corey Seager in a parlay for a home run, but the other person that was in my parlay ended up pinch hitting late. And that ended up making it.
You was
I just dabble every
gambler.
I'm not degenerate. I just every once in a while I got a hunch. And so when you get that hunch.
So that's why you won't come to Vegas with me next year?
That's why I'm not going to Vegas with you. I told you if I go to Vegas, it's going to be very brief. We're going for the event, and I'm going to try to come right back. I said try, because I might get
if Mama come with you?
What? She don't gamble, so she's not going to sit there watching me gamble. Her gamble is sitting at the bar with them and saying, "Can you give me another beer, please?" That's her gamble.
My wife will watch you. I want you to stay in Vegas.
I'm not
doing 2 shows.
I can't do it, bro. Hey, I can't do it. I promise you that. I promise you that.
Man.
But it can be discussed. We got time. We will definitely talk about it.
Hour number 1. I'm gonna ask your wife.
Hour number 1 is in the books. In hour number 2, we're gonna hear from Coach Sarkisian again and talk a little bit more. We're gonna have the world's strongest take by the world's strongest man. And of course, coming up next, we got to hear from Jim Harbaugh. This is got to be the weakest answer. And basically, I'm not there. What did Magic Johnson say? I ain't going to be here. That's where he's at. Right here on the morning kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone. Welcome back to hour number 2 of the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone. I am Mike Harbaugh Hardge. He is the world's strongest man, Mark Henry. And, of course, we got my man Khalil behind the board. In hour number 1, we talked about the Olympic medals that Simone Biles, Katie Ledecky, and everyone else has for the U.S. The U.S. is leading the Olympics with 21 gold, 30 silver, 28 bronze for a total of 79 medals. China has 21 gold, 18 silver, and 14 bronze for a grand total of 53. And France is sitting in third place with 48 medals. Today, NBA. Today, the women's national team plays against Germany in soccer at 11 a.m. and men's basketball is today at 2:30 versus Brazil. We talked about Coach Sark. We'll hear from him at 8:17. At 8:40, we'll have the world's strongest take by Mr. Mark Henry. And, of course, right now, we are going to hear from Jim Harbaugh. In case you missed yesterday's show or not been paying attention to what's going on in college football.
His take was, my name is Bennett, and I ain't in it.
You know how they always tell you, he gone? He gone. Don't
my
invite
name
me
is
to
Paul.
it. And that's between
That's between y'all.
So the ruling came out yesterday that there were 52 violations committed by the University of Michigan in last year's season. But I think it goes further than that. It happened during a time where there was a lot more that was going on by Michigan during that time. So the punishment is yet to be determined for Sharon Moore, who was involved, directly involved in these particular situations. They stem from Connor Stallion's scandal, where the draft said there was 58 instances of illegal in-person, off-campus scouting. It included 53 games, 13 opponents. In 2022, they scouted one single team 7 different times. Sharon Moore, is now the head coach of the Michigan Wolverines. He is the one that is going to have to fall on this sword. And if you don't remember Sharon Moore, he was the one that replaced Jim Harbaugh during the regular season in the interim and was crying after a big victory about how much he loved Coach Harbaugh. And I'd do anything for that man. I mean, I'm just happy. And he just had snot bubbles coming out. Well, Jim Harbaugh, who is now the head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers, met with the media yesterday. And let's just say, like Mark said, his name is Bennett, and he ain't in it.
Yeah, I do have a comment on that. Never lie, never cheat, never steal. I was raised with that lesson. I have raised my family on that lesson. I have preached that lesson to the teams that I've coached. No one's perfect. If you stumble, you apologize, and you make it right. Today, I do not apologize. I did not participate, was not aware, nor complicit in those said allegations. So for me, it's back to work and attacking with an enthusiasm unknown to me.
I am not apologizing. I was not there. I did not have an indecent relationship with that woman. Miss Nowitzki. He just came out and said, listen, I had nothing to do with it.
Right.
Now, whatever this Connor Stallions guy did for them, that was not me. Which basically is saying, wait a minute, it was him. He pointed the finger at the existing coach.
The funny thing about that, Mark, is he did say, I'm basically not the one. So he basically said, everything in my body is telling me that if I believe it's not a lie, it's not a lie.
Just because you believe it
exactly
don't mean it's not true.
My man
you
said,
are the boss.
I'm not the one.
You're the boss.
Yes.
If you say cut the check, the checks gets cut.
Yes.
So yes, you were involved.
100%.
And he got punished. He got punished last season, Hardge. You don't get punished for nothing.
He got punished for part of it.
For having a part in it.
And he got to the point of a national championship. He won a national. This report said that they scouted one opponent 7 different times. Take a wild guess who you think that opponent might be. Who has been his nemesis since he got to that university?
Ohio State.
Ohio State.
Yeah.
And since he started cheating and scouting that team, they haven't beat him. Ohio State hadn't beat him. Ryan Day has been on the chopping block. People are looking at him different with that great record that he has at Ohio State. People are looking at Ryan Day as if he's not a good coach. The reason being is because he lost to Michigan. And it seems to me, and it doesn't say Michigan in this story, but why would they scout anybody else?
I want to know, how did Stallions get on the sideline of the opponents?
Full uniform. Dude had on a coach's uniform with a badge. This is definitely an inside job somewhere.
And the drones, like, don't you think that? Excuse me. That you can see a drone flying over your practice?
You can definitely hear it. It's that bzzz, that buzzing sound the entire time.
Like, I can see. I mean, I've been to UT practices and they have drones flying around, but they're their drones.
Yep.
You would think that Ohio State would be like, hey,
somebody's in our airspace.
Are we recording this practice? And they say no.
Yeah.
Well, what is that?
You remember what you told me last week? You said that they make drones that look like birds now.
That's right. I showed him. They have drones that look like birds that are out there that are used by the military now. And maybe that is what they have.
Stop it.
Maybe that is what they have.
Oh my God, you too much. Now I can see Harbaugh's like, hey, did the bird drones come in yet?
Exactly. That was part of the.
No, that was Coach Moore.
That was Coach Moore ordered it to his house.
Send them to my house.
Yeah.
Don't send them to.
I'll just bring them in. I'll let them fly in. I'll let the birds fly in. They weren't going south for the winter.
That is sad.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. But
and you know, like
somebody's gonna get punished for this.
Well,
Moore.
I think Moore is gonna come down on him because he deleted those
52
text messages. Yeah. And kids, they are able to recover everything you delete.
Nope.
So don't think that, oh man, I'm gonna take a hammer to this phone and nothing will be done about it. No, it's on the cloud.
The cloud, man. And it's gonna be raining.
That's
text
why Jesse
messages.
Ventura said no mobile phones for me.
Yeah. Hey, I had a lawyer tell me that a long time ago. He said, I got a flip phone. I was like, why? He said, because the first thing I'm doing is subpoena the phone. And I was like, okay. Understand.
Well, or just don't do nothing.
That's the easy way out of it. People like challenges, Mark. People like challenges. Coming up next, we're going to hear from Coach Sark as he talks about his quarterback and his defense. How mature are they? Because you go back and look at them, they're pretty mature. Right here on the morning kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
From the Audiovisual Consultation Studio, this is KBET AM Austin, an iHeart radio station, the exclusive audio home of NBC's coverage of the 2024 Paris Olympics. The winner is Craig Way. Join us in congratulating Craig Way on winning the Texas Sportscaster of the Year award. Say goodnight to it. Caught it. Touchdown, Texas. Craig is so nice, he's won it twice. God, let's go! Ball game. Listen to the Craig Way Show weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
In 10 days, face your fear in IMAX. Alien Romulus arrives in theaters August 16th.
This report is brought to you by Salvation Army's Day of Giving, August 21st. Get more details at salvationarmyaustin.org.
Good morning. Be on the lookout for a minor collision right now over on the southbound side of 35, right at 1431. It is over on the left shoulder, not affecting the main lanes. Still, though, close to that fast lane, so just use some extra caution and brake taps as you are traveling through. We also have an accident right now on Lamar, right at Masterson. So traffic right now just a bit slower than usual as you make your way through the intersection. I'm Ryan Silva. That's a check on your Austin traffic.
This report is sponsored by Abacus Plumbing, Air Conditioning, and Electrical.
Air conditioning problems? Call Abacus. You can get free estimates and lifetime warranties on select Lennox equipment. Right now, save up to $5,000 with our buyback HVAC special.
Online at abacusplumbing.com.
License TACLB 824AAE.
Hook 'em, Horns fans. Catch every moment of Texas Longhorns content free on your phone, TV, or computer. Check out the revamped Longhorn Network or LHN to stay connected all season with exclusive content, highlights, behind the scenes, student athlete interviews, a 24/7 channel, and replays of the greatest games. Plus, enjoy academic programs like campus tours and inspiring commencement speeches. Watch game week and post-game press conferences, live football statcasts with play-by-play radio audio, and coaches shows like Longhorn Weekly. Create a free Longhorn Network account for personalized watch lists, easy sharing with friends, and more. No account? No problem. All content is free to watch. Watch LHN on your iOS and Android devices. Stream directly from TexasLonghorns.com and on streaming TV apps like Chromecast, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, and more. Don't wait. Download the LHN app today and dive into the Texas Longhorns action. Find TexasLonghorns.com.
Have a question or need how-to advice? Just ask Meta AI. Whether you need to summarize your class notes or want to create a recipe with the ingredients you already have in your fridge, Meta AI has the answers. You can also research topics, explore interests, and so much more. It's the most advanced AI at your fingertips. Expand your world with Meta AI. Now on Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, and Messenger.
Your garage door won't go up or down, so give us a call. We're all over town. Promise to you is honest and fair. The real Cedar Park overhead doors. garage door on your house needs repairs, call Cedar Park Doors and we'll be there. We'll get there fast and we'll treat you fair. Call Cedar Park Overhead Doors.
When is a garage door emergency repair truly an emergency? When it happens to you, of course. When you need a repair done fast, trust the experts to get it done now. Call the real Cedar Park Overhead Doors. Trust our family to fix it right the first time. For over 30 years, when our phone rings, we're ready to serve all your garage door needs. So when that spring goes sprung or you forget to open the door when backing out, we'll be there for you. Customer first, that's honest and fair. We're here for you 24 hours a day and online at cedarparkgaragedoors.com.
We work really hard while the other guy snores. Happy customers, we have more. We'll get it right and we'll get the job done. For Cedar Park Overhead Doors. 335-7441.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war in term life. Industry rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man aged 45, non-smoker, can get $1 million of coverage for $75 per month, level rate for 10 years. Or a man aged 50, non-smoker, can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of $110, level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Term Busters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call for a free quote today. 800-200-2250. That's 800-200-2250. Don't wait. Call 800-200-2250. 800-200-2250. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-smoker rate class. Exam required to qualify.
Pain from arthritis is just awful. Bone-on-bone constant pain. It robs you of so much of the stuff you love to do. But there are effective ways to deal with that pain. And I'm not talking about drugs or surgery. Listen, there are exciting new cellular therapies that can get you lasting relief. And the place to go? QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics uses cutting-edge treatments that accelerate your own body's healing properties, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. If you're living with chronic pain from arthritis or injury, you need to know steroids and surgery and pain pills are no longer your only option. Learn how QC Kinetics can use advanced regenerative medicine to treat the pain, enhance your joints, restore your mobility, and give you long-term relief with no downtime. The local medical professionals at QC Kinetics are ready to help you get your life back with regenerative, restorative cellular treatments for your achy joints. This is the future of medicine. Call for a free consultation now. 512-593-4303. 512-593-4303. 512-593-4303.
With all the uncertainty in the economy, the pre-election wobbles, is my money really safe? That's when I discovered the power of a gold IRA from Noble Gold Investments. It's a tangible asset that can help protect your wealth when times get tough. And with Noble Gold Investments, it was so easy to roll over my existing IRA into a self-directed gold IRA. Their experts guided me through every step. I've diversified my retirement portfolio with something real. Don't wait for the election uncertainty to threaten your financial security. Vote for the timeless safety of gold and silver in 2024. Oh, and hear this. They're giving away up to 10 1-ounce silver Trump coins or a 10-ounce silver American flag bar with a qualifying account. Just visit noblegoldinvestments.com now and use the promo code TRUMP. That's noblegoldinvestments.com.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
The other day, the show and I were introduced to the coolest walkie-talkies, Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk devices that provide clear contact nationwide on an LTE network. 100% private and perfect for small business owners to connect with staff. No subscriptions or monthly fees. Visit rapidradios.com. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping from Michigan plus a free protection bag. Add code RADIO and get an extra 5% off.
From the team behind Atlanta Monster and Up and Vanish comes a brand new investigative true crime podcast, Flashpoint. Listen as they explore the homegrown terrorism threat through the lens of the Atlanta Olympic bombing and its aftermath.
There is a bomb in Centennial Park. You have 30 minutes.
Listen to Flashpoint on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Flashpoint to start listening.
The Craig Way Show with the voice of the Longhorns, Craig Way. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. We just talked about Jim Harbaugh and his that wasn't me. That was he did Shaggy.
I don't know what y'all talking about.
Exactly.
Why y'all trying to bring me in this?
He did the Men in Black, that little bloop.
I know nothing.
He let his mind go. But somebody that does know something is Coach Sark, and what he does know is his Texas football team is ranked number 4 in the coaches poll, in the preseason coaches poll, and I thought that would be
too low.
The right place. I thought it would be the right place for the Texas Longhorns headed into this season. As the coaches look at it, you got to put respect on those that have earned that respect. Texas walking into a new situation, or whatever you want to call it as far as that is concerned, when you sit back of going into the new season, it's fair. I think it's fair.
They're definitely going to get everybody's best shot.
Absolutely.
But they've been doing that in the Big 12. They've always got everybody's best shot because they Texas.
Yep. And they're going to continue to do that because Texas has come in with a lot of fanfare. Everybody's talking about them heading into the SEC. And this is an opportunity where Texas is walking in to a situation where they're expected to compete for a national championship, let alone an SEC championship. So the coaches poll came out yesterday, and Georgia was number 1 with 46 votes.
I can see that.
Ohio State, another team that's on the rise with 7 first-place votes. Oregon comes in at 3rd place, and Texas comes in at 4, followed by
Oregon lost a lot, just like Michigan lost a lot.
But they're going into the Big Ten, and it's a totally different conference now. They got their head coach that's still there. They've got some transfers. They got Dylan Gabriel as their quarterback walking in, who's a Heisman Trophy candidate. So as of right now, they're sitting at number 3, Texas at number 4. They received 1 first-place vote, and everybody's trying to figure out who made that vote, who voted for Texas number 1. I'm hoping it was Major Applewhite at South Alabama. He might have been the one who did that. Then you got Alabama at 5, Ole Miss at 6, Notre Dame at 7, Michigan at number 8. 9 is Penn State, and rounding out the top 10 is Florida State. Texas A&M comes in at number 20. Oklahoma at 16, and Clemson, the Clemson Tigers, come in at number 14. So Sark met with the media yesterday, and he wanted to talk about his squad. He wanted to talk about wanting his players to trust their habits. You know, when you start working and you're doing some good things, one of the main things you have to believe in is your ability to trust yourself. And that means if you trust yourself and your preparation is there, there is no thought process that happens. It's read and react. And Sark touched on wanting his players to trust their habits.
I think what I want to see is them continue to trust their habits that they've been creating now for 5 days. You know, the one thing that happens, I think, at times is players get distracted, whether it's by the elements, could be the heat, could be the cold, whatever that is. All of a sudden I put pants on and they forget to do the things that got them to that point where they've been playing good football. And so the challenge for us is to trust our preparation, to trust the habits that have put us in a good position to play good football.
And that's what you got to be able to do. You put yourself there. But he's trying to figure out how my guys are going to come out and play with a really good pad level. You know, when you just have the shoulder pads, you got to do things fundamentally right because you're not going down at people's legs. You're putting yourself in the right position. Well, now that the pads are going on, you have to trust yourself. And how do you do that? Make sure you got really good pad level.
We've been playing with really good pad level. It's been physical. Sometimes practicing in just uppers is almost better than full pads because you learn how to play with good pad level, but not go to the ground, and that keeps people off the ground. But you have to practice football in the way of which it's played on game day. So that's what we'll do tomorrow.
I'm excited because they get to go out there and hit each other. Mark, you've been around football and you know what this day means. This is when everybody is the loudest. This is when all the trash talk starts to happen. This is where you get to go and impose your will in certain areas. But again, my job is to make sure that my teammate is ready to go for the rest of the year, not to come out here and try to show out. You want to do things fundamentally right. But this is where everybody's practice habits continue to get better, but it also really gets fired up.
Well, you know that it's also about establishing dominance. The offense has an advantage. They don't initiate. They know everything. They know where they're going, and the defense is reactionary. So now the defense gets to pop them, put them in their place. Coach Sark mentioned the fact that there will be no tackling to the ground because 70+% of injuries happen when you go to the ground.
Yeah.
So like you eliminate that and you just get a little physicality and the defense feels better. And then they can go out there and work from that point on.
So, when I look at what this team is going to be able to do, big picture, as we go out there, I think what's going to end up happening is there's going to be a separation in those that are ready and those have gone through this before and those that are trying to make an impression. Because as I said before, this isn't a regular football team. This isn't a team where Mark is the starting defensive tackle, Mike's the starting wide receiver, because there's 4 different people that are behind you that are trying to get their reps too.
That can play.
That can play. They are coming to get those types of reps. And that's what Sark talks about. When you start to look at their front line, they have a lot of veterans, not just Alfred Collins, not just Vernon Broughton, but the people that they brought in from the transfer portal. They played a lot of football. And Sark brought it up. He wanted to know about his defense's fronts being veterans and how strong of leaders they are.
One thing about our defensive front, we're a veteran group. And ironically, you think you bring in 3 new players, you'd think we'd be young. We're actually old. When you think about Vernon and Alfred, first of all, and then you add Jermaine, you add Tia, and you add Bill Norton. Those are 5 guys that have played a fair amount of football. So that veteran group is really important. And then obviously the addition when you look at the off the edges with Barron and his experience, with Ethan Burke, his experience, Justice Finkley, you add a Trey Moore into the mix. That's a veteran group, and they've played a lot of football. They're very savvy players. And then we've got a influx of youth right up there that I've been impressed with. A guy that I think has made a lot of strides has been Aaron Bryant, and he's been helpful. Obviously, Colin Simmons of what he's brought. Zena, we've been impressed with him. And then some of the young interior guys, whether you talk about a Dre Bledsoe, I feel like he's starting to turn the corner. Alex January, Melvin Hills, those guys. So we've got a lot of depth, but more importantly, the frontline guys, it's an experienced group, and that's really encouraging because they're playing like veterans.
And what ends up happening, Mark, in those particular moments is you have veterans guys that are teaching the younger guys that are ready to try to come and take that position. How do I take that position? So the next group of guys that comes in, they understand their role as well.
What Big Kenny say? You're not ready, pup.
You're not ready, pup.
And those veteran guys, just like the kid from Arizona, Tia.
Yep.
Like that dude is 330 pounds. He's a gapper.
Did you see the picture of Bill Norton walking around?
No, I didn't.
Whew. Large human being.
First man off the bus.
Let everybody know that you are here.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm a sizist.
Yep, I know you are.
Hey, if it's big, man, I love the athletic big guy because those players, they're able to raise the level of play with the other guys, and because they feel like they have to live up. Man, he big and running that fast. I need to pick my game up.
Right.
So I love that about Coach Sark. They was able to bring in those veteran defensive linemen to push these young guys because they mentioned January.
Yep.
January is 330.
Easy 330.
6'5", 6'6".
Yep. And he's
Like,
that
he's
guy
a
that's trying to
very big
develop.
human.
Right.
So like I'm looking forward to seeing the development of those young guys behind Alfred Collins.
Well, we talk a lot about the defense and what they've been able to do and trusting their habits and getting ready to get back on the field. But the one thing is Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers is the quarterback of this football team. A lot of folks continue to want to talk about Arch Manning, rightfully so. He was asked the question yesterday, are you going to try to get Arch some time early? He shut that down quickly. He was like, yeah, of course we want to do that. But that's not the focus. Our focus is our starting quarterback and Quinn Ewers.
That's my world's strongest take.
Exactly.
Quinn Ewers.
Well, we're going to say that. So coming up next in the next segment, we got the world's strongest take. But we're going to lead with this. Quinn's growth as a leader in this program. We've talked a lot about his pocket presence. We talked about him being able to lead this team. But did he grow, and is his leadership even stronger?
Well, I think his leadership for sure. Definitely, this team looks to him and how he goes. And that takes on a different responsibility from that perspective, in that he doesn't get to have that day, even when maybe he's not feeling his best or maybe he's a little fatigued. He's still got to be the guy that drives the temperature of that offense and fuels that offense. And so that's a little bit new for him to some degree. There isn't a Jay Witt, right? There isn't a JT Sanders, or there isn't a Bijan or a Roshan from 2 years ago that were those kind of catalysts. Now that's him. And I think he's assumed that responsibility. But yet it's still a challenge. It's anytime, again, we had to get him out of his comfort zone to go into a new space. And he was more than willing to do that. And I think it's showing. But like anything, there's moments where we have to remind him, oh, this is that time. This is what you're talking about. And to me, that's been the glaring biggest difference.
And you need that from him. You need him to be that leader to pull everybody together. We saw it one time in the bowl game 2 years ago. You saw him get fired up against Washington in the Alamo Bowl. And you were like, okay, that's what we've been waiting for. And then he kind of went through everything last year. You still had those strong leaders on the team last year. And he was at his moment. Big game, showed up. Moments that you needed him, he did that. Well, now it's it. It's your third year. You know everything about this offense. You know everything about this squad. Take the next step and lead them as a Heisman Trophy person that's been in the conversation, that's predicted to be a finalist. Bring that energy.
Well, he hung out in the back.
Yeah.
And he learned that you can't lead from the back. You got to lead from the front. And I think that's kind of what Coach Sark was talking about. He cut the hair, cut the mullet, and started training and become more serious, gained 10, 15 pounds of muscle and lost weight at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's dedication and respect for yourself as well as the craft. And all of those guys follow suit.
Yeah.
You say, oh man, Quinn is, he cut his hair. I'm gonna cut my hair. Quinn lost weight and gained muscle.
I need
I'm
to
gonna
do
get
that.
on my diet.
Yep.
All of those things are. I'm glad Coach Sark brought that up.
Yeah, and it is to Quinn's credit, he's seen that, he's recognized that, and he understands that. Hey, closed mouths don't get fed, and if I'm gonna be that guy, I've got to be the vocal guy. You see all the charismatic guys that are around him. That's leadership too. He's buying in to what they're bringing.
He's bringing them to the table.
Yeah, no doubt. Coming up next, we got the world's strongest take by the world's strongest man. That's right, folks. Mark Henry is going to have his moment to let you know what he's really strong about. Right here on the morning kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300. The
Zone.
Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
It is Chris Del Conte. Do you have a favorite Pitbull song you ready for tonight?
I had no idea who that cat was. And they brought him up, and I said, come on, my daughter's 19. She goes, Dad, you're embarrassing. And I'm like, okay, give me a song. And then she plays No Tell Motel at the Holiday Inn. I'm like, what kind of stuff do you listen to? I've been YouTubing this fella, so I'm up to speed. The No Tell Motel at the Holiday Inn.
Only on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
iHeartRadio Olympics update.
Delaney Schnell fell short of qualifying for the women's 10-meter platform diving final.
Amazing grip entry that she has. And this is unfortunately not it.
The U.S. men's water polo team beat Croatia to advance to the quarterfinals, while the beach volleyball team of Miles Partain and Andrew Benish beat Italy in the round of 16.
For NBC's live coverage from Paris, search Olympics on the free iHeartRadio app.
This report is brought to you by Salvation Army's Day of Giving, August 21st. Get more details at salvationarmyaustin.org.
Good morning. We have reports of an accident right now on the southbound side of 35, right at the Palmer ramp. You might see some minor merging delays as you are making your way through. Meanwhile, over on FM 969, be on the lookout for a collision right as you try to head northbound on the 130 service road. About 3 to 5 minutes worth of merging delays as you're traveling through. I'm Ryan Silva. That's a check around your Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Thomas J. Henry, injury attorneys available 24/7.
Thomas J. Henry Law has more than 2,700 five-star Google reviews from satisfied clients. If you've been injured and need an attorney, don't leave your case to chance. Contact Thomas J. Henry today at tjhlaw.com/radio. San Antonio, Texas.
If someone offered you $500 for 10 minutes of your time, you wouldn't believe it. But if they work at Henna Chevrolet, it's true. Because 10 minutes is all it takes to drive from CarMax to Henna, where you're guaranteed to get $500 more for your vehicle. Just show Henna your written CarMax appraisal within 7 days, and you'll get $500 more guaranteed. So come get your money at HennaChevyAustin.com.
Henna Chevrolet, we'll always stand by you.
Together, let's drive. In today's Marketers Report, Erica Taylor, Chief Marketing Officer of Genentech, weighs in on audio's ability to reach any audience.
Everyone is listening somewhere, somehow. So it's a great way to take something very precise in what we're trying to do to reach patients with something that I think we can all agree is somewhat broad in reaching many, many different audiences.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, influencers, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
With all the uncertainty in the economy, the pre-election wobbles, is my money really safe? That's when I discovered the power of a gold IRA from Noble Gold Investments. It's a tangible asset that can help protect your wealth when times get tough. And with Noble Gold Investments, it was so easy to roll over my existing IRA into a self-directed gold IRA. Their experts guided me through every step. I've diversified my retirement portfolio with something real. Don't wait for the election uncertainty to threaten your financial security. Vote for the timeless safety of gold and silver in 2024. Oh, and hear this. They're giving away up to 10 1-ounce silver Trump coins or a 10-ounce silver American flag bar with a qualifying account. Just visit noblegoldinvestments.com now and use the promo code TRUMP. That's noblegoldinvestments.com.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Hear that? That is the sound of obstacles facing your business. But when you join Lenovo's free online membership program, Lenovo Pro, to support all your business tech, those obstacles just go away. Join Lenovo Pro for free. Visit Lenovo.com today. Lenovo. Unlock new AI experiences with Lenovo's ThinkPad X1 Carbon, powered by Intel Core Ultra processors.
After 30 years of doing knee and hip replacements, Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup thought there had to be a better way, and that led him to regenerative medicine.
I was one of the first orthopedic surgeons to do it.
Now, after 20 years of successful orthobiologic treatments, lots of clinical data, research, and teaching, Dr. Scheinkup is National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
They've done an amazing job of becoming the most significant orthobiologic and regenerative medicine practice in the United States. QC is so far ahead of the game in its science, its protocols, its people, its facilities.
So if you have chronic pain from arthritis and you want to avoid drugs and surgery, call the experts in this revolutionary field, QC Kinetics.
To give patients real lasting relief from pain, that's what I live for. That's my mission.
Get your free consultation now. Call QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 512-593-4303. That's 512-593-4303. 512-593-4303.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
Just a little heads up before something bad happens.
Move your coffee cup away from your computer.
Oh, no. So you can have more control.
Stop. You're texting your boss by mistake.
Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Warning. The cap is loose on that catch-up.
Ugh. Don't wait. You have the power to change the outcome. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its pre-diabetes awareness partners.
Febreze. So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day. Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Did you know that solar energy gives you independence from utilities and helps keep your energy costs down? Why not get a free estimate with locally owned Divided Sky Roofing and Solar? You can get more information at mydividedsky.com. That's mydividedsky.com.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Your Austin area weather calling for sunny skies, a high of 100. Clear tonight, a low in the upper 70s. Wednesday sunshine, a high of 103.
This report is sponsored by Randall's. Get great summer savings on all your favorites at Randall's. This week at Randall's, get General Mills cereal, Nature Valley granola bars, gallons of Lucerne milk, and Coffee Mate creamer for $1.97 each, and Skippy peanut butter and Thomas English muffins or bagels for $2.77 each.
The final week from Paris.
It's Noah Lyles! The 20-year drought is over for the Americans.
The 800 still belongs to the one and only Katie Ledecky. Scotty Scheffler adds gold to his green jackets.
Bring the summer games with you, from your phone to your car or wherever you listen. Open the free iHeart app now and enable push notifications for live updates from Paris. iHeartRadio, the exclusive audio home of NBC's coverage of the 2024 Paris Olympics.
Discover one of the CIA's illicit Cold War initiatives on the iHeartRadio original podcast, Operation Midnight Climax. An undercover brothel dosing unwitting Americans with LSD, a mind control experiment gone horribly wrong.
Back in the 50s, the government wouldn't let you watch Elvis Presley shake his hips on TV. But the same government was running a brothel in broad daylight.
Listen to Operation Midnight Climax on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone presents the Craig Way Show. Join Craig Way weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. only on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. If you missed any part of the show, and I hope that you haven't, but if you do, get over to the podcast page and check out all of the past episodes, whether you wanted to go back and listen to some of the Hardge Knocks Life or yesterday's episode, the debut of the morning kickoff with Harbaugh, Hardge, and Mark Henry. I want you to continue that because today is the debut of the world's strongest take, brought to you by the world's strongest man, Mark Henry.
Hardge, man, let's get it started. My world's strongest take is about the quarterback. Quarterback is always the most difficult position on the field to replace and the most important position to be a catalyst for the success of an offense. And I feel like Coach Sark did a good job putting the guys in that room. But now you can see that his influence is what's bringing these guys to the University of Texas. And Quinn Ewers is the head of that snake. Coach Sark talked about his leadership, his ability to get everybody on the same page and follow suit, because you have to be able to get everybody to not fight each other, but to be organized.
Right.
And dealing with a lot of different personalities, dealing with multiple receivers that won't catch. I was open. Every receiver is going to come to the huddle, and they're going to tell you that they were open. They're always open. They're never, man, they like Whataburger. They always open.
There it is.
So Quinn, I love that part of his development. The second thing is the fact that Quinn has got to learn to be bored. he makes himself work too much. And that throwing off platform, throwing off 1 foot, all of that stuff has got to stop. He's got to be bored. Stand there, good footwork, and let the ball go. Yeah, it's not exciting.
Right.
But it's effective and it's efficient. And the wide receivers get the same look every time.
Coach Sark talked about that being efficient as well, but go ahead.
And you got to he's got to learn rather than scramble right away, he's going to have to step up in the pocket. And it's just 1 or 2 steps, square your shoulders, and stay to your technique. And that's something that a lot of quarterbacks, even the pros, have a problem with. And Quinn got to see it last year, up close and personal.
Right.
Might I add, with Michael Penix. When they played, you'd see the throws that Penix made, and he just stepped up 1 step, a little slide to the right, a little slide to the left, square the shoulders and throw.
Was he doing the electric slide?
It sounded like it, didn't it?
Yeah, it did a little
Look
bit.
at you.
Yeah, a little bit.
Slide to the right.
Yeah.
Slide. Not crisscross. No, we're not crisscrossing, Quinn.
Gotta have good footwork. Gotta have good footwork.
But you gotta have good footwork, and you got to square the shoulders, keep the ball face level, and throw the ball. And Coach Sark talked about his arm. He gets overconfident. And, well, I can lean and throw this ball. No, you can't. It's boring. Make it boring.
Right.
Square up and throw the ball. And all of the, Arch, people talk about, Arch Manning. Arch is going to have all the next year to be
the man. Yep.
And all of those other young quarterbacks. And then they're going to bring in another high-level quarterback that's going to be in that room. It's almost worth it with the system the way that it is now with the portal. Go as a rookie, as a freshman, under Sark. He's an unbelievable quarterback coach. It would be worth it just to go, get in the locker room, see how he does his work, see how he prepares his quarterbacks, and then you can get that guy. And next year, maybe he goes in the portal and goes somewhere, never played a down at Texas. But he has the framework and the understanding of what it takes to be an elite quarterback because he trained with a coach like Coach Sark. So
I'm a big fan of Coach Sark and his ability to scheme up the plays for the quarterback. I heard some people talking about you're not getting to your 3rd or 4th read, right? You got to make sure that you're in the ability to recognize what they're giving you, pre-snap recognition, in which we've all talked about, show where the weakest person is in that defense, and get your playmaker the ball. The beautiful thing about it is Sark has a plethora of playmakers.
He's got 4.
And not only that, look at Gunnar Helm. Look at what's happening at the tight end position. We didn't even get a chance to talk about that. We'll talk about that a little bit more. Ryan Niblett, Ryan Wingo, the new guys that are coming in, Jonte Cook, DeAndre Moore, they have playmakers and the ability to use some of the people out of the backfield. They caught a lot of passes out of the backfield.
Dangerous a wide receiver coming out of that backfield as anybody they have on that team.
Correct.
You all you have to do is look at the touchdowns he scored last year.
Mm-hmm.
And it was all he act like he's going to block, and then he slips out in the flat or runs a little Texas route or a circle, and he gets hit across the middle, and he goes bye-bye.
He's that dude.
Yeah, and Quinn is looking for that when sometimes that's the check down. Like his first read is up the field because Coach Sark, everybody criticized Coach Sark. Man, he take too many shots. No, he don't.
Yeah.
I want him to take more shots. Because if you got somebody like Dante Cook and you got Golden, listen, go back and look at Texas playing Houston last year.
Oh, yeah.
Golden's still catching balls today in that game.
Which is why he's here.
At one point, I remember he had 6 catches in a row. So that means they knew he was going to get the ball, and they couldn't stop him.
Yep.
This is Texas secondary. So Quinn is able to get the ball to the playmakers And somebody like Golden is going to draw attention. And Bond is going to draw attention. And it was going to leave the middle of the field open for guys. So if he can step up in the pocket, allow himself to get bored, don't get antsy and feel like I gotta dance and scramble and move around. Got to be bored, Hardge.
Yep.
And that influences the future too. That teaches all of the film that they'll have. Hey, look at how Quinn stepped up right there. He threw that peel. Wow, touchdown, first down. We keep playing. That's what my take is. Texas quarterback is in a good place, and the future of Texas quarterbacks are going to be outstanding.
Well, the thing that I also look at too is with Quinn Ewers, not only does he have the ability to move around and make good throws if he gets everything working with his footwork, he also has the ability to make some moves down the field, running the football to extend plays. He is blessed with a golden arm, and sometimes that gets him in trouble because he thinks he can put a ball in places that it shouldn't be. But that's the beauty of a kid like that, understanding his arm talent. And I'm going to ride with him anyway because
I would rather have overconfidence than no confidence.
Exactly.
Like your boy Dak.
Oh, here we go. My boy Dak has great confidence.
No, he don't.
Don't believe the hype.
He can only throw a peel if somebody jump offside.
Hey, well, sometimes you got to take those chances too. That's why they call it offsides. When we come back, we'll finish out the show and send you over to Dan Patrick. One more segment of day 2 of the morning kickoff with Mike Harbaugh Hardge and, of course, Mark Henry right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Join Craig Way weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m.
One time when Bill Schoening and I were doing a Tuesday night game, and there was an umpire behind the plate, Tom Jenkins. And Tom was a rather corpulent fellow, and he lets a pitch go in there. And we hear this pop again. He goes, ball two. Then crystal clear that our field mic picked up was some fan yelling, Jenkins, you fat.
Only on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. Longhorns football plays here.
Going down the middle, that pass intercepted in the end zone. And putting his knee down, Mookie Taft did it there in the end zone. We're inside the 5 to the 3, the goal line. Touchdown, Texas. C.J. Baxter just kept shedding tacklers and ran hard, ran tough.
Longhorns football plays here on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
This report is brought to you by Salvation Army's Day of Giving, August 21st. Get more details at salvationarmyaustin.org.
Good morning. We have reports of an accident right now on the southbound side of 35, right at the Palmer ramp. You might see some minor merging delays as you are making your way through. Meanwhile, over on FM 969, be on the lookout for a collision right as you try to head north down on the 130 service road. About 3 to 5 minutes worth of merging delays as you're traveling through. I'm Ryan Silva. That's a check around your Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lotto.com. Feeling lucky? Lotto.com has digital scratch tickets. Tons of games and instant fun. Scratch now on Lotto.com. Must be 18 or older in Texas to play the lottery. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 800-522-4700.
Hardball Hardge here for Orchard.com. Selling your home is a catch-22. Do you pay for upgrades to sell for more or use the money to buy your next home? Orchard gives you both. Orchard makes you an impressive backup cash offer, unlocking cash to buy your new home. Plus, Orchard makes price-boosting upgrades at no upfront cost. One customer said, Orchard sold my home for far more than I expected, and I got a golf cart. Let Orchard help you sell your home for more. Visit Orchard.com for a free home evaluation. That's Orchard.com.
From the team behind Atlanta Monster and Up and Vanish comes a brand new investigative true crime podcast, Flashpoint. Listen as they explore the homegrown terrorism threat through the lens of the Atlanta Olympic bombing and its aftermath.
There is a bomb in Centennial Park. You have 30 minutes.
Listen to Flashpoint on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Flashpoint to start listening.
Imagine this. You're in the Mercedes-Benz C-Class sedan,
And with the touch of a biometric finger sensor, the vehicle knows your profile, responds with your preferences. The ambient lighting shifts to reflect your mood. The Burmeister 3D surround sound system plays your favorite song. And AI-assisted MBUX technology responds to your every ask. Now stop imagining. The Mercedes-Benz Dream Days are here. Offers hard to imagine, vehicles impossible to forget. Experience a variety of vehicles, each with the state-of-art technology that fits your driving style and personal taste. So, whichever vehicle you choose, it'll drive like a dream. Discover exceptional offers on vehicles like the CLE Coupe, E-Class Sedan, C-Class Sedan, CLE Cabriolet, only at Mercedes-Benz. Dream Day is going on now through September 3rd. Learn more at mbusa.com/dream and drive off in the car of your dreams.
Hey, Cam, mind sending me over our new Wi-Fi password?
Oh, sorry, Mitch, you can't be trusted.
What?
It's your phone. It's different than mine.
Cam! And I thought I was a judgy one.
No, it's just messages between different devices aren't encrypted.
Okay. Since when do you know about encryption?
I know what encryption is, and it's because I'm the last line of defense against any would-be Wi-Fi thieves.
Cam, come on.
Okay, fine. I'll send it somewhere more private.
Thank you.
Safely send messages between different devices on WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone.
Let the games begin.
While you work, iHeartRadio keeps you connected to Team USA with live coverage of swimming, basketball, volleyball, gymnastics, and more from Paris. Tell your smart speaker to play NBC Olympics Radio or NBC Olympics Radio Plus to listen now.
In this week's Marketers Report, Dana Nussbaum, Executive Vice President, Worldwide Marketing at Warner Brothers Discovery, weighs in on regional audio marketing.
Although we're marketing at a very broad scale, it does include specific local markets, and that's the beauty of iHeart's network.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, influencers, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
This weekend, head over to Cover 3 for the ultimate weekend brunch, complete with their famous Bloody Mary and Bubbles bar every Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Sip, savor, and celebrate with friends. Don't miss out. Make your weekend special at Cover 3.
Get the Apple Leasing Advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
It's the Craig Way Show with the voice of the Longhorns, Craig Way. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. As we get ready to send you to Dan Patrick after this segment, make sure you listen to Craig Way from 2 to 5 p.m. every day as he brings you the latest in the afternoon. I wanted to talk about this because I know this makes Khalil very, very happy. We were giving the U.S. men's 3-on-3 team a very hard time at their failures, but the women led by Haley Van Leith got a chance to win, and they've got the bronze medal. No, this ain't her, man. No, not that one.
Oh, I thought
this one was the one that played for LSU, and now she plays for TCU. She ended up getting everything done, and they ended up winning a bronze medal in the 3v3. Right. So they finally got some things done. I wanted to make sure that we talked about this too. The U.S. women soccer team will take on Germany in the semifinal today. Hopefully they can get it done. Dennis Rodman's daughter, Trinity Rodman, had one hell of a goal for them to win the matchup to get them to this round. But then also the men's basketball team will take on Brazil today at 2:30 as they need to make another run as well. You've also got the long jump. You got the finals in the 200. I'm excited to see what Noah Lyles is able to do. I got a chance to watch Julian Alfred run yesterday. She was cooking people. It looked easy. She too may end up winning the 100 and the 200 because that's how fast she was in the 200. So there's an opportunity for both U.S. men, for the U.S. men and Noah Lyles to win the championship, but Alfred to win another one for St. Lucia.
She's unbelievable, man.
She is definitely unbelievable.
And young.
That's the thing.
She could have 2 more Olympics in her.
Well, that's the other part of it. So what do you think? What do you think the true expectations are for, let's say, Simone Biles? What do you think is going to end up happening with her?
She may choose to not compete again, but she's got at least another world championships.
Okay.
Minimum.
To lead into it and decide
the
if she wants to do
elite
it.
of the elite.
Well, we've been asking about breakdancing. So what I found out is breaking starts August the 9th is the first day that breaking starts. And the women start.
I can't help but shake my head.
Yeah, the women start it off on August the 9th at 9 a.m. Central Time. I can't wait. The finals are in the same day. So everything happens the same day, Mark.
Well,
You'll be fine.
I thought that breakdancing and rock climbing would be the 2 things that I would be the least interested in.
But it was equestrian.
But equestrian. Like, you know what?
So if you need to take a nap,
hey,
put on
all
equestrian.
Y'all that have problems sleeping, put that on. It will knock you out. It is
My man
beautiful.
said he went to sleep right away.
Oh, so I woke up so refreshed.
Well, if you missed any part of the show, make sure you get over to the podcast page and check it out. Tomorrow we'll have more conversations. I believe that some of the players are meeting with the media today, so we'll have sound from that. And of course, we'll continue the conversations. Hopefully, we'll be talking about the U.S. men winning in basketball.
Let's go.
And the U.S. women's soccer team advancing as well. Tomorrow we'll also have Danny Davis of the Austin American-Statesman joining us as he always does Wednesdays at 7:40. Mark, great show.
Thank you, brother.
Khalil, great job on the boards. And of course, I want to thank you, the people, for tuning in as always. And just remember this, don't believe everything you see, because even salt looks like sugar. Peace.
From the Audiovisual Consultation Studio, this is KBET-AM Austin, an iHeart radio station, the exclusive audio home of NBC's coverage of the 2024 Paris Olympics. You're out, you're about.